Welcome back to Album Authority. Today we're taking a deep dive into Doja Cat's bold and experimental project, Vi. Released in September 26, 2025, Vi marked one of Doja's most ambitious swings yet. Leaning heavily into an 80s-inspired sound, the album is drenched in synths, dance floor grooves, and retro production choices. With contributions from producers like Y2K, Jack Antonoff, Soundwave and Mbetsa, Vi blends neon-soaked pop aesthetics with Doja's rap firepower. The album experiments with love, self-image, and vulnerability, while still maintaining Doja's signature mix of charisma and sharp wit. It's a long project, running over an hour, which gave Doja room to try different vibes and sounds. Some of those experiments landed perfectly, while others overstayed their welcome. Before we get into the track ranking, make sure to like and subscribe to Album Authority. And don't forget to drop your own Vi ranking in the comments. We want to see how your list stacks up against ours. Now, let's rank every song on Doja Cat's Vi from worst to best. At number 15, we've got Take Me Dancing. This track had so much potential on paper, especially with a feature from SZA, but it ended up being one of the most lackluster moments on the album. The instrumental tries to lean into an 80s ballroom disco vibe, but the energy never quite builds, and the chorus feels thin. SZA's guest spot is surprisingly subdued, almost blending into the background instead of elevating the track. For an album opener, it feels more forgettable than fiery. At number 14, it's Make It Up. Repetitiveness is the downfall here. While the beat has a retro bounce, it feels like it's stuck on repeat without much progression. The hook doesn't stick, and the verses, while technically fine, don't add enough energy to lift the track. It's a song that fades into the background compared to the stronger cuts on Vi. At number 13, we've got Happy. Happy is light, playful, and clearly aiming for a carefree vibe. But the execution feels more like filler than a standout moment. The melody is fine, but it never reaches that earworm level you'd expect from Doja. It's pleasant enough, but doesn't demand a replay. At number 12, it's Acts of Service. Here, Doja cleverly plays with the concept of love languages, and the lyrical theme is strong. The problem is in the pacing. The song moves too slowly to match the sharpness of the writing. It's not bad by any means, but it doesn't leave the lasting impact of some of the bigger tracks on the project. At number 11, we've got One More Time. This one has real charm with its retro synths and shimmering late-night vibe. You can feel the 1980s influence woven throughout. But the structure becomes predictable, and by the midpoint, it starts to lose its punch. Still, it has enough style and mood to land above some of the weaker tracks. At number 10, it's All Mine. All Mine is a mixed bag. The production feels like filler, and the hook doesn't stand out. But then Doja drops one of the best rap verses on the album, showing off her razor-sharp flow and charisma. That moment alone makes this track worth revisiting, even if the rest of the song doesn't fully match that energy. At number 9, we've got Silly Fun. Playful and tongue-in-cheek, Silly Fun leans into bubblegum pop territory. The sound is bright and bouncy, very reminiscent of Sabrina Carpenter's recent style. While it might not be groundbreaking, it's undeniably fun and has a cheeky charm that fits Doja's personality well. At number 8, it's Lip Stain. Lip Stain is sleek, moody, and atmospheric. The glossy synth production captures that neon-soaked aesthetic Doja was aiming for across Vi. The lyrics, centered on fleeting passion and hazy intimacy, add a sultry layer that makes this track stand out in the midsection of the album. At number 7, we've got Come Back. This is one of the more emotional cuts on the album. Slower in tempo, Come Back sees Doja tapping into vulnerability, exploring longing and regret. The production is sparse but effective, allowing her vocals to shine. It's not flashy, but it's one of the more heartfelt and memorable moments here. At number 6, it's Stranger. Dark, hypnotic, and slightly eerie, Stranger, is where the repetitiveness of the album actually works in its favor. The looping synth line and detached vocal delivery give the track an entrancing, dreamlike quality. It's experimental, but in a way that adds intrigue instead of dragging. At number 5, we've got Jealous Type. Doja gets personal here, touching on insecurities and the complexities of relationships. The balance of vulnerability and sass makes it instantly relatable, while the production gives it just enough groove to stay danceable. This is one of those songs that resonates both lyrically and sonically. At number 4, it's Gorgeous. Gorgeous sparkles with confidence. The glossy synths, the glamorous vocal delivery, and the infectious beat make this track feel like pure stardom. It's sleek, confident, and perfectly in line with the album's 80s-inspired vibe. At number 3, we've got Cards. Clever writing shines here. Using gambling and risk as metaphors for relationships, Doja delivers some of her sharpest lyrics on the project. The instrumental shifts keep it engaging, and Doja's charisma makes it one of the smartest and most creative tracks on Vi. At number 2, it's Amen. Explosive, unhinged, and packed with adrenaline, Amen is chaos in the best way possible. Doja's performance is wild and unpredictable, riding the beat with electrifying energy. It's the type of track that shakes you awake and reminds you why she's such a dynamic artist. And at number 1, we've got Couples Therapy. This is the emotional centerpiece of the album. With lush production, heartfelt lyrics, and Doja's most vulnerable performance, Couples Therapy ties the whole project together. It feels intimate, raw, and resonant, a perfect closer and easily the best track on Vi. So where does Vi land overall? It's an ambitious project with an immersive 80s-inspired soundscape, some truly brilliant highlights, but also stretches that feel too long or repetitive. Still, Doja's experimentation and charisma shine through, making Vi a fascinating listen. We're giving it a 7.6 out of 10. Now it's your turn. How would you rank the tracks on Vi? Drop your list in the comments below, and let's compare notes. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Album Authority for more deep dives and album rankings.